Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you all some quick self-care tips. The reason I say quick is because I find that a lot of self-care tips that are out there require a lot of time. So it might be things like take a nap or do a face mask or have a bath. I saw someone tweet recently saying if anyone had any self-care tips for someone who lives quite a fast-paced life between work and college and socializing, and they just don't have the time to kind of do the traditional napping, face mask, that sort of thing. So I wanted to give you some quick tips on how to look after yourself if you do live a very busy, very fast-paced life. These are just quick things you can do at any point during the day just to kind of take a breather and check in with yourself. Before I get started, I just wanted to remind you all to give this video a little thumbs up if you liked it, click subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell next to that if you want to get a notification every time I post a new video. Without further ado, let's get into the tips. Self-care tip number 1 is don't lie to yourself. This might seem like a bit of an odd one, but what I mean by this is don't pretend you're okay when you're clearly not okay. So take that time, recognize that you maybe are a bit stressed, you might have a lot going on, and accept it for what it is. You might be having some bad thoughts, accept them, try to understand them, and just don't bottle them up and keep them like locked away in here. You need to recognize these things when they happen, and you need to not lie to yourself when they happen. So you need to be open and honest about what you're feeling, about how your body's feeling, and that's kind of your first step into looking after yourself. It's not ignoring how you're feeling emotionally, physically. So don't pretend that everything's fine. Don't just keep kind of chugging along if you really do need a minute. So just recognize that within yourself and take that time. It'll literally take a second to just go, okay, how am I feeling? And just check in, just see how you're doing, and just be honest with yourself about how you are doing. Self-care tip number 2 is to write little notes for yourself. When I say write notes for yourself, I don't necessarily mean they have to be actual written notes. There could be like a little section in the notes on your phone where you just have little messages to yourself, like everything's going to be okay, you know, you look great today, stuff like that, just little bouts of positivity. And if you're feeling a little bit down or like you just need to kind of little pick me up, you can go into that section on your phone and just read those little notes that your past self has written for your future self. So that'll take like literally 2 seconds. Like I'm talking little short sentences that'll just make you feel better when you read them. It's good to do that at a point where you feel very, very confident in yourself. Maybe you feel like you look really good today, that sort of thing, because it'll give you that little boost that you feel, yeah, I do love myself today. If you want, they can be handwritten. If you want to put a little sticky note and stick it somewhere, so you might be randomly flicking through a notebook and you'll find a little sticky note, and it might just give you that little boost and that little confidence that you might need to just feel a little bit better. Self-care tip number 3 is to take a tea or coffee break by yourself. A tea or coffee break by yourself is just so therapeutic. It doesn't have to be tea or coffee, like whatever you like to drink, because I know not everyone likes a hot drink, but I'm a tea and coffee lover. And I mean, like, don't maybe go with anyone. You can go with someone if you want, because sometimes having a chat with someone can be helpful. But take like a little 10-minute break. If you have a little break in work, get a tea or a coffee and just sit by yourself somewhere. Find somewhere quiet, sit by yourself. Don't even look at your phone. If you have a book, great, read a book. But if not, just kind of sit there and just be with yourself and think about how you're feeling and what's going through your head. Because it's really nice to just have that time to yourself. We're so connected nowadays that we're constantly online talking to each other, you know, if we're not seeing each other in person. So it's really, really important to take that time to yourself and just be with yourself, because you're stuck with, like, you're stuck with yourself for your whole time here on planet Earth. So you need to be comfortable with yourself and being alone with yourself. Otherwise, you're just kind of gonna rely on other people for your whole life, and that's really not good. You need to be able to rely on yourself too. Self-care tip number 4 is to do a breathing exercise. Breathing exercises don't have to be incredibly long. They don't have to be like full-on meditations. It's just taking like 30 seconds to kind of take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and just check in with yourself and make sure that you're okay. I often find that in times where I find that I'm getting a little bit stressed or a little bit worked up, if I just kind of sit back and kind of go, okay, you're okay. It really does help, and it'll take like literally 30 seconds, a minute, and just that little soothing that you have to give yourself. Like I said previously, you can totally rely on other people, and it's really, really good to have other people to rely on, but you need to be able to soothe yourself as well and understand that you're your first kind of port of call. Like, you need to go to you. So if you can kind of take that step back and realize that you're maybe freaking out or a little bit stressed, and just calm yourself down with the breathing exercise and just check in, that can be really, really helpful. Self-care tip number 5 is to have a playlist of some feel-good songs. I know people love their music, like most people love music. I don't think I've ever met anyone who doesn't love music. And whenever I'm like on a bus or walking anywhere, I need my earphones, I need to have music in my ears. And it's just really good to have a little playlist constantly at the ready for when you might need something a little bit more upbeat. Because sometimes I find when you're not great or you're feeling a bit stressed, you'll click on like shuffle and all your sad songs seem to come on. I don't know why. It just seems to be some sort of weird like thing that happens. So having a little playlist at the ready, like maybe there's songs that you listen to at parties, or just kind of summer hits. Summer hits are generally quite boppy. Just songs that make you feel happy, or songs that just kind of make you want to do a little dance, you know. Having them there is amazing, because just listening to 1 or 2 of those songs on your way to work, maybe on your way to college, if you just have some time at home, it really does lift your mood, because it's very hard to be sad when you have like a really good song playing that just makes you want to dance. So take that time, listen to some of your favorite music, and just again be with yourself and be with your head. Listen to the lyrics and really just get lost in it, because you just need to sometimes take that step back and just kind of lose yourself in something other than the world around you. And finally, self-care tip number 6 is to buy yourself some flowers. I know that might be a bit of a traditional self-care tip, and it is something that people do for other people just to be nice, but when like we don't buy ourselves flowers, and I think that's really sad, because I don't know about you guys, unless you're allergic to flowers obviously, when I see like bouquets of flowers, I immediately feel like so much better just in myself. And when you have like natural plant life in your space, it just kind of brightens a place up. It just makes a place feel so much better. And we don't do stuff like that enough for ourselves. Like we buy ourselves like necessities and clothes and food and coffee if you're obsessed with coffee like I am, but things like buying yourself a little bouquet of flowers, I'm not talking like an expensive one. Like if you go to Aldi or Lidl, if you're passing by, you can get bouquets for like €3 or €4. They'll last maybe like a week and a half, but it's just a nice little treat. And I just think there's something really nice about treating yourself to something like flowers. It's just a little bit unconventional, and it's just something you deserve. Like it's like a little hug from nature. So buy yourself some flowers. If you come across a little store and you see the flowers, buy them. Just buy them, because you deserve them. That is all the self-care tips I have for you. You can do obviously the more traditional stuff like taking naps, taking a bath if you have a bath, doing a face mask. So they all do really help. Meditations are great if you just need to kind of get out of your headspace for a little bit. But these are just some quick tips that you can use if you're in that fast-paced environment where you don't really have the time to step back and spend more than maybe 5 or 10 minutes on your self-care, which happens a lot nowadays because we are living in a way more fast-paced environment, which is unfortunate, but you gotta make do with what you have and just kind of plow through. Obviously, self-care can be used by anyone regardless of your mental state. Like you could have a really bad mental illness, or you could just kind of be feeling a bit blah. But if you are having issues that are deeper with your mental health, please do seek some supports and do seek people out. A lot of university has free counselling, the waiting list might be a bit long, but it's worth checking it out. Things like Pieta House, I believe they have phone lines, and just even I think there's internet supports as well. There's apps that you can just talk to a counsellor. And even just your friends, reaching out to people, it's really, really important to talk about how you're feeling and not bottling it up. I'm notorious for bottling up how I feel, and it does you no good. So if you are struggling with your mental health, like a little bit deeper than just some self-care fixing it, please do seek out that support. And that's today's video. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a little thumbs up. Click subscribe and hit the notification bell next to it to get a notification every time I post a new video. If you would like, feel free to leave me a comment with some other self-care tips or what you do when you just need to wind down a little bit. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!